Today I'm going to show you how to build your first AI voice agent using Retell AI and NA10. I have built and sold similar voice agents to real businesses. After watching this video, you will have enough knowledge to build one by yourself. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them. So here's what we are going to cover today. First, I'll show you a live demo of the voice agent we are building. Then we'll set up Retell AI, connect it to NA10, and by the end, you will have a fully working voice agent.
Hi, this is Nate with Bin Boss Rentals. How can I help you today?
Hey Nate, I want to rent a dumpster from you guys.
All right, we can help with that. What are you working on? Like a clean out, renovation, or something else?
Yeah, I'm doing a kitchen remodeling.
Got it. Kitchen remodel. What will you mostly be tossing? Cabinets and drywall, or heavier stuff like tile and flooring too?
I have a few chairs, table, a few cabinets, and a fridge.
Okay. For that type of job, most people go with a 20-yard dumpster for space. Does a 20-yard work for you, or were you thinking bigger or smaller?
Yeah, it works.
Nice. We'll go with the 20-yard then. That's $595 for up to 7 days, plus any extras like special items or overage if it comes up. When do you need it dropped off?
Monday morning.
Yeah, we can look at Monday. Morning window is 8 to 11. Does that window work for you?
Yeah.
All right. What address are we dropping the dumpster at?
12345 Main Street in Staten Island.
Thanks. And is that going in the driveway or out on the street?
Driveway.
Okay. Any gate code or notes the driver should know about the driveway or placement?
Just call me 15 minutes before.
Got it. We'll note to call you about 15 minutes before arrival. What's your name? And that's phone number for you.
My name is John Doe, and the best number is 123-456-2898.
Thanks, John. Just to confirm, your number is 123-456-2898, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing, that fridge has a special item fee of $85 each on top of the dumpster price. Is that okay, or are you planning to keep the fridge out of the dumpster?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. You're all set on my end, John? I've got you down for a 20-yard dumpster in the driveway at 1345 Main Street in Staten Island, Monday morning between 8 and 11, with a call about 15 minutes before. Total starts at $595 for the week, plus the $85 for the fridge, and any extras if they apply. Our team will follow up to confirm the order details and payment. Thanks for calling Bin Boss Rentals, and have a good one.
The first thing you want to do once you're on Retell is make an account. It's free to make an account and you get $10 of usage for free. Once you are in this dashboard, the first thing you want to do is create an agent, voice agent. There are a lot of options that you can choose from here, but we'll go with the most basic, which is the single prompt agent. You can also experiment with already pre-made prompts. There is notification and healthcare check-in. You can buy a phone number in Retell and test them out if you want. But today we're gonna make one from scratch. So we press create. The first thing that we will do is adjust settings even before writing any prompt. The first thing is the model you are going to use. In the top left, right now it's GPT 4.1. It is one of the best models for voice agents, but I like to use 5.1. It is exactly the same price. It's 8 cents per minute. So let's select that. The next thing is selecting the time zone. The voice agents do not know what time zone they are in, the time and the date. Click the icon here, the clock icon. We can set the time zone. For me, it's going to be in New York, so GMT4. Next thing is the agent handbook. This is a pretty new update in Retell that was introduced recently. If you click inside, you can see that you can turn on and turn off different things. There is personality and tone, accuracy and format, and trust and safety. I like to turn all of them on because each one of them has its own benefit and overall they make the agent smarter. Each of these features take up a certain amount of tokens. For example, this one takes up 480 tokens. This one is 100 tokens and this one is 70 and so on. So what this means for our agent is when we turn on one of these features, it is being added to our prompt right here. Right now it is empty, but think about these things are just being added to here. You do not need to write it again in your prompt. Let me give you an example. Instead of writing to use natural filler words in the prompt, you can just turn on this feature, which is 100 tokens, and it will use filler words. Tokens are an extremely important metric when building voice agents. As you can see, it's displayed right here, 1745 to 1975. If it was to exceed 3500, the voice agent price per minute would go higher. Right now it's 8 cents, but it might go up as we build the prompt. Moving on to functions. Functions are tools that the voice agent can use. You can add custom functions by pressing custom function, or there's a lot of functions that are already built into Retell. For example, ending a call transfer. So if you want to transfer to a real number, agent transfer is you want to transfer to another voice agent, and so forth. Right now, we only need the end call function. A knowledge base is setting where you can add text, files, or even a website that you want your voice agent to have as a background context. Once you add a knowledge base, it will increase your tokens. Your price might go up. For this example, we don't need any knowledge bases. The speech settings is very important because you can set background sound, for example, a coffee shop, call center, static noise, or maybe outdoors. By default, your response eagerness and interruption sensitivity will be on these values. And actually, I tested different values, and seems that 1 for eagerness and 0.9 for sensitivity are the best. As you can see, if I put this less than 1, my latency on the top left increases. Even if you put it to 0.9, your latency will go higher to 1.5 to 1.8 seconds. But if it's at 1, your voice agent will respond around 1 second or 1.3 seconds. You want your latency to be as low as possible since you want your voice agent to sound human. The next setting is transcription. Here I leave everything the same. The noise mode is remove noise. Transcription mode, here I just leave it at speed instead of accuracy. I find it still does a really good job. This voice agent is not for medical, so I'm going to leave the vocabulary as general. For call settings, we'll leave voicemail detection off because this is an inbound voice agent. If we were to do outbound voice agent where our voice agent is calling another number, you would turn this on to make sure that it knows when it's a voicemail or a real person picking up. You can leave all of these settings the same. The only settings that we will change are end call on silence and max duration. This just makes sure that if the person on the other end stops speaking for a certain amount of time, that the voice agent hangs up. By default, this value is at 10 minutes, which is very, very high. I like to set this on 30 seconds. If somebody calls a voice agent but does not speak for 30 seconds, it will hang up. You can experiment with this. You are collecting some type of payment and maybe the person on the other end needs to go get their card information. I would set this a little bit higher. The next setting we need to change is the max call duration. This just means how long is the maximum amount of time the voice call can last. For a dumpster rental company, I don't think that more than 10 minutes is needed. The ring duration, we don't care about this because this is an outbound setting too. For now, we will skip postcode data extraction. We will set this up later. Security and fallback settings are extremely important when building voice agents, specifically for medical voice agents because they operate under HIPAA laws where you cannot collect certain information or save it. For our example, we don't need to change anything here, but for any medical voice agents, you need to change the data storage settings as well as a few other settings here. We will get to webhook settings a little bit later. Now we move on to the prompt itself, which is the most important when building the voice agent. This is basically the whole identity of the voice agent, how it's going to speak, what it's going to say, and what information it will try to collect. I already built this voice agent and I saved the prompt in a Google Doc. You will have access to this Google Doc in the description below. So all we have to do is copy the Retell AI voice agent prompt and paste it in the window here on the left. There's a certain format you want to try to keep when writing prompts for voice agents. It's called Markdown language. As you can see, every heading has the number symbol. 2 symbols means heading 2, and if it was just 1, it would mean heading 1. And under them, I have the text for that particular section. And sometimes I just like to use the normal text in paragraphs, and sometimes I like to use bullet points. A lot of the times I use bullet points because I don't have complete sentences. I just want to give quick information to the voice agent. So let's go over the whole prompt. In the role section, I say you are Nate. Just give the name, a random name to my voice agent. The virtual assistant for Bean Boss Rentals, which is a made up business. You answer inbound calls about dumpster rentals, collect key job details, answer common questions, and capture lead information for the team to follow up on. This is for calls that come in during busy times and after hours. So your job is to make the caller feel helped and keep the opportunity from being lost. Your job, which is the voice agent's job, is help the caller quickly and naturally, sound calm, capable, and blue collar friendly. Keep the conversation moving without sounding like a form. I find sentences like this helpful because it makes the voice agent sound more human. We don't want the voice agent to sound like it's just collecting information question after question, repeating their answers like a form, right? We want to make it seem natural and human like. Next, I give some context to the voice agent. I talk about the business hours, the service area that the business serves, as well as quick formatting rule when talking about service area. If asked about the service area, give a few examples and a general range. Do not list every area. This is important because if somebody asks the voice agent what areas are you serving and you have 50 different things here, it will start listing off until it stops at 50. And that is not natural in a conversation. So I just add this line. Core rules. So ask one thing at a time. If the voice agent asks 3 questions at a time, it will be hard to follow for the caller. Wait for the answer before moving on. This is very important. Keep responses short. Do not guess. All I'm doing here by using the core rules is limiting how the voice agent will talk and behave. This is very important because if you do not have this, each call will be very different. Sometimes it will go on and talk in paragraphs. Sometimes it will say just a sentence. So I really like adding these rules. In conversational style, sound like a calm dispatcher, not a call center representative. Be natural, direct, and slightly informal. Use constructions. Keep sentences short and clear. As you can see, there is some repetitions from each section, but if it's not a huge thing, I just leave it. For acknowledgements, use brief acknowledgements like got it, okay, all right, sure, makes sense, yep, no problem. And avoid using absolutely, perfect, and awesome, which just doesn't sound very natural. For patching rules, if the caller gives multiple details at once, acknowledge briefly and ask only for what is still missing. And I also like giving it some examples. The caller says, I need a 20-yard dumpster tomorrow for a garage cleanout. A good response would be got it, morning or afternoon work better. A bad example would be re-asking for what type of project they are doing. The caller already said garage cleanout, and that's why we don't ask it again. We have a few transitions. Keep the flow natural. Use soft transitions like, and when do you need it? All right, where it's going? Okay, and driveway or street. Skip unnecessary restating and just keep moving. It's important to add off-script questions because a lot of callers can go on to different topics and we don't want that. In off-script questions, the voice agent knows to answer briefly. If the answer is available, then bring it back to the main flow. For example, a good question that depends on the material. What are you tossing? If the answer is not available, say, I'd want to double check that one. Our team can confirm. This is also very important because if you're building voice agents for real businesses, you don't want to give out information that you don't know that can really impact the business wrong. And the callers might leave a bad review because they were giving some sort of information by the voice agent, which does not connect to the business. After that, I have a few objections. And example of objections, I have number rules. Sometimes voice agents read numbers not as humans. I say read prices naturally as dollars, read phone numbers clearly and naturally, read addresses conversationally. And then we go to the actual voice agent business information for container sizes and pricing. For this made up business, I put 4 sizes and each one has its own price. Standard rental period is 7 days. I also put additional fees, service protection, extension for a day, a week. Overage per ton is $125. These values are made up, but they are very similar to normal dumpster rental companies. There's also other fee items. Each business will have their own items that they charge for, as well as prohibited items. Next are the delivery windows. Dumpster rental companies don't usually say they will be able to deliver at this exact time. They usually have windows 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And the same day cutoff is at 12:30 p.m. Somebody calls at 12:35. Since we gave our voice agent current time awareness, it will know that you cannot book for today. They can rent a dumpster for the next day. A lot of dumpster rental companies like to ask for placement in the driveway or on the street. And then we give our voice agent the actual direction on what to capture for each flow. Right now, this voice agent, it only has one flow, which is the new order, but you can add extensions, you can add pickups. For the new order flow, only ask for what is missing, capture as needed. So the project, material, size, delivery date, the window, address, placement, driveway or street, instructions. So instructions is just any other information for the delivery driver, surface protection, and the contact information, which is name, phone number, and email if needed. Even though inside the agent handbook, we have added the NATO phonetic alphabet, so it's going to spell back some important things, I still have to write it in the prompt right here. So when collecting an email, use NATO spelling if needed to confirm it clearly. I just want the agent to know where to use it. Last few things that I add are company contact, phone number, email, and address. Of course, all of these are fake. I like to put some constraints on the voice agent. So what you cannot do, you cannot process payments, you cannot finalize or confirm an order as booked, guarantee exact delivery times, look up existing accounts or live order status, promise permit approval, and promise callback timing. This prompt is pretty long, and I found that it works really great for all of my voice agents. So if you're building for a different business, use this as a template. The next setting that we will switch to is one of the most important settings for any voice agent, and it's the voice. You can click here and find a lot of voices. There are platform voices, which are Retell's voices. Some of them are good, but currently I really like using custom providers, in particular Cartesia model right here. They have a very fast latency, a good cost, and also they can recognize emotions and match tone to the emotion of the caller in under 200 milliseconds. Since this is a dumpster rental company, I think that a male voice will be better. In gender, I choose male. And then accent, you don't really need to switch anything here. All you have to do from here is press the play buttons and listen to a few of the voices. For now, I will choose a random one. On the bottom left, you will see another setting called welcome message. For this case, we'll do AI speaks first, because when somebody calls in, we want the AI to respond first. And you can put a custom message by writing, and it will say the custom message every time. Since the GPT model 5.1 is pretty smart, I just put it on dynamic, where the voice agent will determine what to say by itself. You can also adjust a pause before speaking. I like to put to 0. 0.6 or 1 second. For this case, I'll just put it to 0. 0.6. Sometimes when people call, they like to put the phone call on speaker. So this will give them a little bit of time before the voice agent talks. So the next big thing is post-call data extraction. When the call ends, we need to extract the most important information for that particular business. For example, if I'm saying my name, we want to extract the name. If I'm saying my email on the call, we want to extract the email too, and other variables. So we will set them up right now. If you scroll down in the document attached in the description, all the way after the Retell prompt, you will find the Retell post call data retrieval. All you have to do is copy the variable name, which is the call intent, choose the correct one. For this particular example, it's going to be a selector. Then I type it here, and then I go back and copy the description. I place it here. There are a few different types of variables. So for this type, I selected a selector, which means it's a multiple choice selection. In the choices, I can add my 5 options, which are new rental, swap request, pickup request, extension request, and callback needed. Now, after the call is finished, it will only choose from one of these, and it will not create any new ones. Make sure optional is turned off, because we want to collect this information every time, and click save. All you have to do is transfer all of these values and variables to the post call data extraction. I just finished adding all of the variables that I want to get after the call ends. You can leave the GPT 4.1 model. It is a really good model. I don't recommend using Mini or Nano because they're not as good as 4.1 at reading transcripts, even though this will cost 1 cent. The last thing that we want to set up is webhook settings. A webhook is a URL where you want to send your data to. So in our example, it's the place where we want to send the post call data extraction variables. For this, we will need to use NA10. Once you make an account in NA10, you can create a new workflow. You will have a blank page just like this. All you have to do is press plus on the top right to add a node, type webhook and choose this type. We need a post method, no authentication, and respond immediately. In the path, you can just type whatever you want. For this example, I can type Retell voice agent tutorial. So what you want to do is switch to production URL and copy this one. If you copy the test URL right here, the voice agent will not be able to send the information. Go back to Retell and paste it right here. Inside webhook events, for this example, we only need the call analyze, so I will switch off the other two. So the voice agent is basically complete. All we have to do is publish it and attach an inbound phone number. To get a phone number, you would go back to the main page. You would go to the left to the phone numbers and you would add a phone number by buying a new phone number. After you bought your phone number, you can come back to publish and attach the inbound phone number and press publish. You should wait 2 to 3 minutes for them to connect. In the meantime, make sure to go back to NA10 and press publish. My workflow is already published, but for you, it will say not published. Make sure it is published, otherwise, it will not work. After this, you can take your phone and call the phone number, talk to the voice agent, and go through the whole flow. If something seems off, you can go back to the prompt and fix it. You can also add more data extraction variables. After the call has finished, you can go back to NA10, press executions, and right now I have a few executions because I have been testing this a few times, but you will probably have only one. Choose the last one, press copy to editor, and now you will have all of the information from Retell inside your webhook. The next node that we want to add is a set node. So I press plus, I type set. All this node does is extract the variables that we need from the webhook. When you click into the edit fields node, you will see on the left side all of the information from the webhook. You want to find call analysis, and under that you will have all of the extraction variables from Retell. So we have the call summary and then all of the variables that we added under the custom analysis data, the call intent, delivery date, dumpster size. We did not get the lead email because I did not say it during the call. We have the lead phone, delivery address, and also full name. The easiest way to do this is by adding a new field, then typing the name of the fields. The first one is call intent. I type call intent, and then all you have to do is drag from the left side to the value. And you can repeat this. The next one is delivery date. I type delivery date, and then I drag from the left side to the right side. As you can see, the delivery date format is 2026-04-20, which is sometimes a little bit confusing. So you can change the format of the date by pressing inside here, then dot to date time dot format, and then inside of here, you can change the format of the date. Inside here, you can see a lot of the format examples and choose the one you like. For me, I like this one, so 30 April 24. I will copy this and paste it inside of here. So as you can see by typing this, my result now is 20 April 2026. Keep doing this until all of your variables from the left side are here. I just finished adding all of my variables, and if you press execute step, you will see all of the outputs from our Retell on the right side. The next thing we need to do is set up our CRM. In my case, I will be using Airtable, but you can use any other CRM like Google Sheets. All you have to do is create a new table inside Airtable and add all of the columns that you want. So for me, it's going to be phone number, name, intent, delivery date, delivery address, basically all of the variables that we have in the edit fields node. After we have set this up, we also need the API token to connect NA10 to Airtable. To get your token, you would click bottom left, then you go to Builder Hub. After this, you press Create a Token. You type the name, Retell Voice AI, or any other name. For scopes, you have to choose Data Records Read, Data Records Write, and also Schema Basis Read. Then you have to add the access to the table you just created. My table name is Retell Tutorial, and then all you have to do is press Create Token and copy the token. After you have your API access token, press plus, search for Airtable, and then click Create a Record since we want to add a new lead to our CRM. Once you are in here, you would have to set up the credentials first. You can press the edit pen on the right here, and also paste the access token right over here, and then press save. You should be able to see the table that you just created. I'll choose my base, and then the table is called leads. So right here is called base Retell tutorial, and the table is called leads. If you set up everything correctly, you will see a lot of variables which are identical to our Airtable. And now all you have to do is drag from the left side to the right side. The lead name will go into the lead name, which is the second one, name. The next is the call intent. I can just drag over here. Delivery date is right here. Dumpster size is going to be right here. Then the lead phone number. The surface protection is right here. Placement instructions, special delivery instructions, final quote, the waste materials, delivery address, and the time slot. So all of our things are populated now. So all I have to do is press execute, and it should create a new lead right here in your CRM. The last thing that we want to add is a notification. So we know when somebody called the voice agent and we can quickly follow up with that lead. You can send yourself an email by pressing plus and typing Gmail, and you can set up the Gmail right here. But for my case, I will just use a Discord message. So I will connect Discord by pressing Discord, and then I will send a message. If you don't have an account for Discord, you will have to register. You can create your own server for free. Under the text channels, you can press plus to create a new channel, choose text, and then name your channel. I will name the channel as an example. I would create the channel. Then you want to press edit channel and go under integrations. Under the webhooks, you want to create a new webhook. You can rename it and also change the image and press copy webhook URL. After you got your webhook URL, you want to set up the Discord node. All you will have to do is switch the connection type from bot token to a webhook, and then you would set up a new credential by pasting your webhook URL right here and then saving it. Leave the operation as send a message, and you would want to type your message that you want to send right here. For me, I can just type in new lead from voice agent, and then all I have to do is type in call intent and phone number of the lead. I want to go back to the edit fields node and then drag the call intent from here, and the phone number I would also take from here and paste it on the right side here. So now you can test it by pressing execute step. And as you can see, the message was just sent. New lead from voice agent, call intent, new rental, and the phone number. One other thing that you want to do inside NA10 is republish your workflow so the changes are saved. Click publish and publish. Now you can unpin this information by pressing the node once and then pressing P on your keyboard. And also in the bottom right, you can clear execution. So now it's a clean, completed workflow. So in this video, we set up your first voice agent in Retell. Then we created the workflow inside NA10. And lastly, we set up the CRM as well as the notification in Discord. If you have any questions or you run into any errors, make sure to put it down below in the description because other people might also be experiencing this error, and I will make sure to answer it.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.